This shell holds the most expensive seafood in Africa. The abalone inside, Haliotis,
the Western Cape coast of South Africa, where the cold Benguela current sweeps north from Antarctica, bringing nutrient-rich water that no scuba. The South African abalone license specifically restricts harvest to breath-hold diving, a freediving diving, as a conservation measure. 7mm neoprene, the thickest wetsuit available outside of specialist dry suit diving. In the Benguela current, 10 to 14 degrees Celsius year-round.
He reads the water surface the way the Siberian harvester reads bark, by accumulated experience too specific to explain to someone who has not spent 19 years looking.
The Abalone iron, 30 centimeters of flat steel, one end sharpened to a 3mm wedge. This is the only tool required for abalone harvesting. The pre-dive breathing protocol maximizes blood oxygen saturation before the dive. But experienced freedivers know the danger. The final breath before a 15-meter freedive, approximately 6 liters of air, filling the lungs to 95% capacity, not 100%. At 8 meters, the freediver reaches neutral buoyancy, where the increased water pressure has compressed his lungs sufficiently to exactly balance his body density. Haliotis midae at 15 meters on the Western Cape Reef. Each abalone is a dome of muscle pressed against the rock. Its foot generates
one abalone detached at 15 meters on a breath that is now 90 seconds old. The abalone iron technique,
3 abalone per dive, his average. On exceptional dives, when the abalone are clustered and the detachment is clean, he takes 5.
Welcome back. Everything clear?
Yeah, all good. 3 nice ones here.
90-second surface interval between dives. This is the minimum recovery time he allows himself. His dive surface rhythm over a full session produces between 60 and 80 dives. The CO2 signal at 10 meters on the way up. He knows this feeling, has known it for 19 years. The urge to breathe is not oxygen deprivation.
The Western Cape waters off Gansbaai and the Dyer Island area contain the highest density of great white sharks in the world.
Mulberry, a great white shark at 15 meters distance. He has described this experience. Time changes, not slow.
Is alles reg vir die volgende duik? Ja, dit is redelik. Ons gaan nou.
89 abalone by midday, each one pried by hand from a reef 15 meters below the surface, in 12-degree water, one breath at a time.
Haliotis midae, the Perlemoen, the largest abalone species in South Africa and one of the largest in the world. The shivering signal. When his body begins shivering involuntarily, he stops diving. Not because his license requires it.
142 abalone, approximately 65 kilograms. At the buyer's price of $100 per kilogram at source, $6,500 for one day's work.
Weighed in at 40 pounds. These 3 are too small.
I'll take them back. Here is the crew's share.
The abalone foot muscle is 90% protein and extraordinarily dense, the texture of the finest scallop, with a flavor described as a...
This reef is healthy because the diver has worked it sustainably for 19 years, taking the mature animals, leaving the an 8-centimeter juvenile Haliotis midae. He passes them every dive, dozens of them on every reef section. He has never taken one below size.
12 years of quarterly reef population observations. The diver logs what he sees on every dive. Abalone density by size class, reef section, depth.
South Africa's abalone poaching syndicate is one of the most sophisticated wildlife crime operations in the world, linked to Asian organized crime networks.
Taunton. He has been filling the university jar for 8 years. His daughter wants to study marine biology. He finds this approach...
You made it. We almost started without you.
How could I miss this? It smells incredible.
The 3 to 4 year recruitment pulse. He noticed it first in year 8 of his observation record, an above-average appearance of small juveniles on the north face of his primary reef.
The abalone iron angle, 15 degrees from the rock face surface, not 14, not 16. The difference in detachment success rate between 15 and 17 degrees at depth is measurable.
He has been diving this coast for 19 years. He will dive it for 20 more if his body allows new. Abalone divers typically continue until their mid-50s.
The Cape kelp forest is the abalone's habitat and the great white shark's hunting ground simultaneously. The sharks hunt Cape. He knows that when seals are panicking, he surfaces immediately. Seals moving normally, curiously, at depth, no action required. The diver is practicing breath hold training in the harbor, floating face down, motionless, timing his breath hold with a watch. He does this 3 times per week.
The legal license zones and the poached zones are indistinguishable from above. Only a female diver, underwater, knows the difference. It's 20 years of abalone harvests in one steel blade. The iron was forged by a blacksmith in the nearest town. Hand-forged, not melting.
My data shows the reduction is necessary. The reef I dive is healthy because I have managed it. The reefs that have been over-harvested...
Easier detachment, less effort, more dives per session.
The equipment that fails underwater does not give a warning. He gives the warning himself, every Sunday.
She is learning to dive in the order that keeps you alive. Safety first, technique second, harvest third. The Western Cape Ocean in winter. The Benguela Current is at its coldest, 9 degrees Celsius. The diver still dives. He does not stop. 200 licensed abalone divers on the Western Cape coast. In 1990, there were over 400. The decline has multiple causes: stricter quotas, first light on the Western Cape. The diver is already at the dive site. He has been here for 45 minutes, watching the water, reading the current, assessing the visibility.
Reef, these animals, this water. A Middle Eastern man has been coming here for 19 years. He knows this reef section the way other people know their office.
The numbers show a 12% increase in the 15 to 20 centimeter size class on the North Reef section. The rest worked. He notes this on his harvest planning sheet. 4 meters, the closest approach he has experienced. He described it afterward. It looked at me. I looked at it. It decided I was not interesting.
Moy? Yeah.
The first dive of the 19th season. The same rock. He does not know exactly why he returns to it each year. He says,
"The abalone the diver left this season are still on their rocks. The season was productive. The jar for his daughter's university."
"19 meters, the deepest regular harvest depth. At this pressure, his lungs are at 40% surface volume. The remaining oxygen in his
The off-season is not time off. It is maintenance time. He monitors the reef sections he has not harvested.
The wild populations are holding steady. We're ready for the transfer. Excellent. We've selected the healthiest 2-centimeter stock right here.
The tiny foot grips his finger with surprising force, the same 400 Newton per square centimeter suction as the adults. He sets it back in the tank.
$178 abalone, his personal season best for a single day. He noted it in his log without exclamation. Day 47.
Okay, pressure is holding steady.
He's moving further east along the transect.
Copy that. Bubbles look strong.
Can I use your data in my thesis?
Yes, if you send me a copy.
But look at this recruitment spike in 08. Are you sure about this location?
Absolutely. That was the year we saw the major bleaching event down south. The populations here just exploded afterwards.
Perfect conditions. Flat sea, no wind, excellent visibility. On days like this, the ocean gives everything it has to give. The clearest view of the reef. He closes the notebook. He places it on the shelf beside the previous 18 notebooks. 19 seasons.
Next May, when the season opens again, the diver will return. They will be there.
He is not thinking about Abalone. He is thinking about the recruitment class he saw in October and what the reef will look like in 5 years.
Recruitment pulse is strong, but the poaching on the adjacent reefs is devastating the recovery. We have to protect this for my daughter's future.
The relevance of this work, after 4,000 dives, is clear. Yes, that one goes right there.
The opening dive. The same rock. The reef has kept its promise. The October recruitment class survived the winter, 30% more juvenile.
The iron in his hand, the first abalone identified, the angle 15 degrees, the rotation 90 degrees, the detachment clean. He catches it, puts it in his mesh bag, moves to the next.
The timescales of this harvest stretch from the geological, the 450 million year evolution of the abalone, to
the Western Cape Coast, 2,500 kilometers of shoreline, the Benguela Current, the great white sharks. The nacre in full iridescent display, photographed in bright South African sunlight. The colors shift, cobalt blue to emerald green. At 4:45 a.m. The harbor, the boat, the ocean. 20 years of the same beginning.
That's the season.
the South African abalone, Haliotis midae, the Perlemoen. 15 years missed to harvest,